right. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love getting to do these bonus episodes, honestly. We have some interesting questions always. I don't think nothing has yet to top the femboy Luke or twink Darth Vader yet. So that was among my favorite. All right, so the first one that we got is from Jason. Jason has a question every episode, which I absolutely love. So his question is, and this one might be a hard one for you to answer because I don't think you've played Knights of the Old Republic 2, but Jason asks, if there was a three-way fight between Darth Sion, Darth Nihilus, and Darth Revan, who would win? And I'm always going to say it's Revan. I'm always going to say it's Revan. I'm a big fan of Revan. I think the most we've seen, like historically in both canon and legends, that the strongest Force users are always the ones who embody both the light and the dark, because they achieve a sort of like center that I feel like is necessary for understanding the Force more intimately. Because you, as we learn in the Legends timeline, that the Force is a spectrum. I guess you could say the same thing about autism, but it's not light and dark. It's a rainbow. It's all of it. You know, it's everything all at once. It's everything everywhere all at once. Literally, that is the Force. And so I definitely think that Revan would win. There may be some disagreement, but I'm going to stand by that.
I've played the first game. It was on the iPad, so it wasn't like the best. But I'm gonna go with Revan. I have to go with Revan. You're right. I don't think. I mean, obviously he can't beat what's his name, Vishit.
Yeah, no, he definitely can't beat Vishit.
but out of Scion, Nihilus, and Revan, I do think Revan takes the cake. He's still super strong in the Force.
It's not just strong in the Force; it's also mastery of the Force too.
Yeah, and Revan had both sides of the coin. He was definitely the most powerful on both sides, and I think he had a lot going for him with that. Nihilus is just a bad dude, but Revan is cold.
Nihilus is just a bad dude. That can be said about like 40% of the characters in this series. All right, so we have another question from my homie Dusty Juice Box. He says, what was the most impactful retcon from Legends after Disney got the right? I have the answer to this one, and it was actually partly related to the last episode that we did for the bonus episode where we were talking about jizz whaling. And I think that the most impactful retcon was them taking away jizz and naming it jats. The music in Star Wars is jizz. I don't care what you say, it's jizz. It's always gonna be jizz. It's not jats. That's the most impactful retcon, in my opinion.
Disney has to make everything family friendly.
Jizz is family friendly. How you think you make the family?
Shit, you got me there. I got no response to that one.
We actually have two questions from my friend Shy Winter. And one of them I want you to answer first. I mean, I want you to answer both of them, but I want you to answer this one because I know you're gonna geek out about this and just talk for forever. But the question is, which Mandalorian is the best, and which holds the Mandalorian principles to the highest degree, specifically out of Din Djarin, Jango, and Boba?
Oh, I wasn't even gonna pick any of those. If you just gave me free reign, I was gonna pick Jaster.
How we do this? Answer because he says specifically Mando, Jango, and Boba. Answer out of those three, and then answer what you think that's not for those three. How about we do that?
Okay, the answer from those is Django. The answer from those is 100% Django. I know Din Djarin, he's definitely a cool dude. He definitely embodies what it means to be a traditional Mandalorian. But Django from and Boba's his own thing. Boba in canon, he kind of got nerfed, but Boba in Legends, he was the Mandalorian Legends. He was a badass dude. I don't think he embodied what it meant to be like a true Mandalorian, which is kind of funny because Jango and Jaster's group was called the True Mandalorians, you know, back before Jango became the progenitor for the clones. So I'm gonna go with Jango. Din Djarin's a cool dude. He isn't the like Man. Yeah, Django's the key here. So if you've ever read the comics with Django in them, he's just the most badass dude there is. And Mandalorians are like trained, their whole like identity is being Jedi killers. Their whole kit is meant for killing Jedi. And not only does he kill Jedi, but he protects his people. When Django was the leader of the true Mandalorians, he takes down Death Watch, sort of. He loses all of his friends to Dooku, and he takes on the Jedi barehanded. So Django was sold into slavery, rescued by Jaster. Jaster is killed by Vizsla, leader of the Death Watch at the time. Django goes on his little like revenge spree, but at the same time always is protecting the people of the Mandalore sector. He's always there when they call, which is like the key, thing that Mandalorians have. It's all about family. It's all about clan. It's also about being a badass warrior who kills all the Jedi they find, because I love that. And when Django loses his crew to Dooku at Galadron, thanks to some like backstabbing and conniving by Vizsla, the governor of the system, and then Dooku getting tricked into this. Dooku and his Jedi contingent kill all of Django's friends. Django's best friend, second in command, second in command dies, and Django kills 5 Jedi with his bare hand. He goes ham. He is the most badass there is. There's no way that Din Djarin is pulling that off. There's absolutely no way. And then after that, he joins Dooku. He and Dooku have this little one-on-one meet where he poisons Dooku. Dooku is able to like heal himself of the poison, but for a moment he was gonna kill Dooku without even like raising a finger, which is so cool. And then Dooku lays out the plan. Hey, we're gonna take out the Jedi, and you are going to be the key. You are going to be the army that takes out the Jedi. This is a man who killed 5 of them with his bare hands, just, on a little bit of an anger problem spree. And he's going to be the one that takes out the Jedi. That is so good. He's definitely the most badass dude. But Jaster was his dad, and Jaster taught him everything he knew. And I do think that Jaster was probably the better of the two of them in terms of like leading his people, where Django was a bit more warlike. He was definitely, if we had to go in terms of the Force, he was definitely on the dark side, a little bit on the dark side.
If I had to answer this question, which I know my opinion on this probably doesn't matter, but in my eyes, the best Mandalorian to me and who embodies the principles of Mandalorian to the highest degree is Canderous Ordo. I love Canderous. I'm sorry. I can't not love that character knowing the story of Revan. And if not Canderous Ordo, my follow-up is, of course, Cal Skyrata.
I was waiting for Cal. I was expecting Ordo to be your second choice. I was expecting you to say Cal first. Cal knows what it means to be not only a warrior, but a father and like a family man. And he'll do anything for his family. On top of training them to be some badass warriors. Cal Skyrata gets trained to be a Mandalorian from the age of 5 years old. And he's named after a knife. His name means blade or knife, because he kept trying to stab his adoptive father. What was his father's name?
Rick Dupio,
I forget his dad's name, but he kept trying to stab him, and his dad eventually like kind of is able to bond with him and teach him how to be a warrior. He started becoming a Mandalorian warrior from the age of 5. Goes on to adopt the clones as his son, a lot of them as his sons, rescue them, get them out of the war, get them lives, get them families, and then is able to reverse the accelerated aging so that they have the ability to live a long life. His father's name was Moonin Skirata. They're able to live a full and fulfilling life, which is why in Legends we do see, I believe it's Mariel, meet with Boba, and Mariel wouldn't have been possibly alive if the accelerated aging hadn't been reversed. So Cal did everything for his kids, built a home for them, helped them hide from the Jedi, helped them hide from Vader.
Probably legitimately died a quadrillionaire.
Yes, and on top of that, he is an absolute badass warrior. Even when he had a limp, even when he was crippled, he was still more badass than half of the warriors we've seen in Star Wars, if not more.
Absolutely agree. The next question that we had from him is, who is the best bounty hunter? Now I'm gonna take point on this one. Okay, so in my opinion, I have 2 different answers, and it's very kind of controversial. Well, okay, my first one I feel like is not as controversial as the second one. So for best bounty hunter in the Legends timeline, I'm gonna give it to Boba. I'm just always gonna give it to Boba. If you read the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy and read the Bounty Hunter comics, like no one can ever outdo Boba as a bounty hunter. No one. No one outdoes Boba. He's like the best for a reason. Everyone knows that he can charge what he wants. He can do what he wants. He has the notoriety, the acumen, the ethos, whatever you want to call it, to just he's him. He's Himothy when it comes to bounty hunters in the Legends timeline. Now for canon timeline, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this one, but I feel like the best bounty hunter in the canon timeline is Cad Bane. I will always think it's
flack
Cad
for
Bane.
that. How are you
I don't
gonna
know.
get flack for that?
I feel like some people disagree with that, especially since in the Boba show, Boba kills Cad Bane. But I still think that Cad Bane is the best bounty hunter in canon, for sure.
His chest plate was still beeping.
Oh,
Is
it
he
was?
dead? I believe it was still beeping.
Uh-oh.
You know, I'm looking at a list of all the bounty hunters right now that we know of. Like, tops of the list, we've got Din, we've got Jango, we've got Cad, Boba, Bosk,
Bosk.
Ventress, Aura Singh.
Well, hold on. Let me hold on. So you mentioned Bosk. I love reading about Bosk in Legends because at every turn he is Boba's every turn, and he hates it, and he knows it, and he hates it. Bosk should not even be in the top 10. He's just Boba's that he's the number
I'm
one.
not saying
Boba's
he's top 10.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying he's top 10. I'm just looking at the list here. Cad takes the cake. He does. I mean, we've seen him outsmart all the Jedi. He's plans. He's got the skills. He steals the holocron from the Jedi Temple. The dude is a badass. The fact that he lost to Boba is a little plot armory, and it was because he was gloating. He should have just ended Boba right there, but he decided to monologue. Boba, went full sand people on him. But yeah, Cad is when Cad showed up in The Mandalorian, I was scared. I was scared for the people. I was scared for Din. I was scared for Gu. I was like, oh shit, they are dead. They are gone.
Do you want to know the two things why I rate him so highly? One, it goes back to the reason why I rate Boba so highly in Legends, which is like he was so good and had all the acumen that he could pick and name his price and people would have to pay it. And Cad Bane's the same in canon. But the real deciding factor on why I think he's the best bounty hunter in canon is because he is still the only person I know of that has talked back to Palpatine and lived to tell the tale. The only person.
He's so good. Palpatine needs his skills. There's no way Palpatine's gonna kill him or whatnot. Cad is too important to his plans, which just shows, you're right, how good he is. And of course, Palps has access to the coffers of the Republic, so he's able to pay him whatever he needs.
Exactly. All right, so next question we have from my friend Solanine. He goes, has the Star Wars universe ever experienced a singularity-like event where artificial intelligence outpaced biological intelligence to an extreme degree? Is it honestly one of the few ones where machines are completely integrated into society and yet still choose to coexist rather than to dominate? So, interesting question.
There's a plot line right now, right? An ongoing plot line where there's a galaxy-wide threat that's this droid AI.
The dark droids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got the second issue of that released on my birthday. I have them in my room. I haven't read it yet, so I really don't know much about it, but I can answer from a legend standpoint too. So there is a extragalactic entity called the Sisiruk, and their entire culture was basically turning human or living life into technology. It's not really like artificial intelligence outpacing biological intelligence, but it's biological intelligence kind of being converted to artificial intelligence in a way. I can't think of anything else in the Star Wars Legends timeline that's similar. It doesn't seem like AI has ever kind of tried to take over, in my opinion. Now this new stuff might be something interesting, but for the most part, yeah, droids are subservient. There are examples where droids break the subservience and become semi-sentient even. One situation being I5YQ from the Coruscant Night series. And in fact, he is able to be sensed in the Force because his first owner Lorne Pavin, was so close to him. And then Jax Pavin, Lauren's son, who becomes a Jedi that fights Darth Vader, like just has such unique experience with this droid. So to answer to completely answer your question, no, I guess it's never experienced a singularity like event where artificial intelligence outpaced biological intelligence. The only thing I can think of that is somewhat like that is the Sisiruk, but outside of that, I can't think of anything. What about you, Hunter?
What the droid bounty hunter? What?
IG-88?
No, the one that helps Cal, the super intelligent one that shits on meatbags.
The intelligent
They use
one
him.
that shits on meatbags.
They get them information about like caught drive yards and whatnot. They're a pair. It's a meatbag and a droid.
TK0.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What was his human partner? Was it Gabe? Gabe and TK0, I think.
Yeah, GAIB. Yeah.
Yeah. TK0.
Yeah, TK0 was definitely surpassed humans in terms of intelligence, and he let them know.
Well, don't all droids surpass humans in terms of intelligence?
No.
Yes.
No.
Well, at least no. I'm pretty sure. Like C-3PO always talks about how he's smarter than the humans.
C-3PO is not smarter. He just speaks all the languages.
Yes.
He just speaks a lot of languages. He's a protocol droid, and he's programmed to be that way. TK0 is a little bit different. TK0 is like got his own personality. He's definitely more advanced as a droid.
All right. So this next question, and this is one that we can all answer. I'll let Bok Bok go first since he hasn't gotten to say much. So the question is, what are your power rankings for the first 6 movies?
You come back to me.
Okay, because I already know mine.
So power rankings being like all the
like
Jedi,
in order, best
everything?
to least. Just in the order of the first 6 movies, which is your like favorite to least favorite?
Oh, just like ranking the movies?
Yeah, just the movies.
Oh, I thought we were like ranking people, and I was like, damn.
No, just the original
compile
movies.
a big ass list.
No, the first 6 movies.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but my favorites are Attack of the Clone and then Revenge of the Sith.
You're cringe. You're just a cringe.
I like Django. Okay, then I got Empire Strikes Back because my boy Boba's in there.
So
I like
2, 3, 5. Then what?
It's probably more like 3, 2, 5, and
3, 2,
then
5.
6, 4, 1.
3, 2, 5, 6, 4, 1. Okay, that's you. Mine is Empire Strikes Back is always gonna be my favorite because Yoda beating the out of R2D2 will never not be hilarious. Also, when you realize that the motherfucker knew exactly who R2 was and still beat his ass. So that's my number 1 always. Then after that, 3 for sure. So I do like 3. Revenge of the Sith and the novelization by Matt Stover, just that they really sold it. It was really good. The lightsaber choreography in the movie was fantastic. Oh, we're just talking about the movie. So the lightsaber choreography was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely loved it. It was great. Then after that, 6 for sure, and then 2, 4, 1. So yeah, mine is 5, 3, 6, 2, 4, 1. All right, bonk.
7, 8, 9. After 1, put 7, 8.
No.
Or 8, 7, 9, right?
Yeah, 8, 7, 9 for sure would be my order for those. Rogue One, if I were to throw that in there, I would put Rogue One right after 3. I would go 5, 3, Rogue One, 6, 2, 4, 1.
I would even put Rogue One before 3 for mine. I'd go 3 Rogue One 2. Yeah, I'd probably go 3 Rogue One 2, and then the rest of my stuff.
Empire Strikes Back will always be number 1 for me, always. Especially since so Disney went back and made it canon that when Luke shows up to Dagobah, Yoda is high off of his Geimer stick. So when Luke shows up, the reason why Yoda wants to find whatever food he has is because Yoda canonically has the goddamn munchies. That is hilarious.
One of my factors for rating the movies is the series is called Star Wars. If you're not in space having a battle in spaceships, what are you doing in Star Wars? I love the movies that have the dope space battles. They gotta have dope space battles. Rogue One, amazing space battles. 3, amazing space battle, the beginning sequence. 2, the sequence with Jango versus Obi-Wan. I love the sound of those detonators. I forget the name of them. I love the sound. It's so iconic. 1, just what space battle do we have in 1? little Anakin going into
the Naboo Trade Federation. Yeah,
that doesn't count. He tried spinning, and he spun a crappy tail. And 4 has a good space battle. It was obviously the first one, so like they learned from that. 4 has a good space battle. 6 has a good space battle. 5 basically has nothing. 7 has nothing.
I don't even want to count the sequel trilogy, because if I start talking about the sequel trilogies, I'm just shit talk for another hour. It's just there's so much wrong with them. Not even gonna touch that piece of shit.
The only redeeming sequences in terms of space with those are Poe.
True.
Everything with Poe is good when he's in a spaceship. When he's not in a spaceship, I don't know about Poe.
7, 8, 9, and Solo should just not have been made. They should just not have been made.
I don't hate that Solo was made. I didn't hate Solo. I like that we get the backstory of how he got the Falcon. I loved seeing Donald Glover.
I love Donald Glover, but I hate that they tried to like canonize Billy D. Williams up and calling him Han. Like, why? What was the point?
This is funny. Han Solo.
It's rough. Oh yeah, honestly though, Maul popping up and Emilia Clarke, she's been my bae since Game of Thrones. So when I saw her, and actually, in fact, she is the reason why I have a Kira Funko Pop up on my shelf, because that's bae. That's bad. Look, let me tell you something. I would drag my nuts through hot glass for 6.5 miles for a chance to sniff the remnants of a fart that she had after Taco Bell at 2 a.m.
You are disgusting.
Absolutely down bad in the highest degree for her.
You're disgusting.
That is definitely a sentence that you said.
Descriptive, unhinged, uncalled for, damnation worthy, but real. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, by the way, mine is 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1. Okay, respectable.
Yeah, I don't think that's too off track there. That's like I feel like that's what like most people are. They like the original trilogy. The prequel trilogy is like lower on their list because I mean, what the heck? But especially 1. But yeah, that's definitely like a general opinion.
All right, well, that seems to be all of the questions that we have. Thank y'all so much again for participating and being here for the recording and for the main episode and the bonus episode. We really appreciate all the support. Oh, actually, before I close out, let me just say that this has been the end of the 2-part Ahsoka special that we released. Our next special that we're going to be releasing, which will be sometime later this month, will be our season finale. It's going to be a 3-part episode about Obi-Wan the homie, and that will be concluding our first season of the podcast. It's been an absolute blast, guys. You guys are absolutely fantastic. We love getting to do this for you guys, getting to talk Star Wars all the time. So until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts. Thank you for tuning in to the Force Unscripted, and we'll see you all on the next episode.